Hi everyone, Pocono Prepper here, and just a really short video on canning in steps again. Now, last night I was a little busy. I did 5 quarts of yellow beans and I did 1 pint of beets. And these are from my garden. I'm so thrilled. It's the first time I ever did beets. And while I was doing those, I had corn that I had bought from a farmer, 4 dozen, so I got those all cleaned up and cobbed. I got the kernels off the cob, and I put them in my blue bowl and covered them and saved them until today because I just didn't have time last night. So today when I got home from work, I have these jars to clean, mark, and put away. I also did 2 quarts of just plain cut up tomatoes from our garden, and I have those put away. And today I finished putting the corn into 1.5 pint jars. I had 8 1.5 pint jars that I took the corn from my bowl, put it into the 1.5 quart jars, put a teaspoon of salt into it, boiling, well, not boiling, but hot water to cover it to an inch away from the top, and then put warm lids on top with the screw rings after I wiped off the top. And now this will go into my canner and I will can this tonight. While that's canning, I just might prep out my peaches so that I can do my peaches tomorrow. And if I don't prep out the peaches because it's getting a little late, it's after 6 o'clock at night, then I will do those tomorrow. But I just wanted to mention a few things in the ball book, just for an FYI, and I don't know if I can get this without being in the shadow, but there's a section in your ball book in the front, and my ball book is this one. So I'm on page 10. There's a section on sterilizing jars, and it tells you that it is only necessary to sterilize the jars if they are used for products processed for less than 10 minutes. And so it also mentions that the way to sterilize them is to boil them for 10 minutes. And if you're at a higher elevation, which I am, I have to boil my jars to sterilize them for 11 minutes. And it has a side note at the bottom: a dishwasher cannot be used to sterilize jars. Now, however you take care of your jars, that's fine. But the fact that I can save a step by not sterilizing my jars, all I have to do is take them out of the box, wash them, rinse them out really well, and I can throw my vegetables in there because they are processing for much longer than 10 minutes. Now, I am doing 1.5 pint jars. So in the ball book, and boy, there's a really bad shadow and I just can't figure out how to get that shadow out of there. In the ball book under whole kernel corn, which is what I'm doing, one of the things that I do in my book as I'm working is I make notes. So I tend to be able to do 4 dozen at a time. Well, I made a note to myself that 4 dozen roughly makes 12 pints, 8 1.5 pints, or 6 quarts. And I calculated it out that I am to do it for 70 minutes. Because if you're going to do pints, pints are 55 minutes. If you're doing quarts, it's 1 hour and 25 minutes. And what I did, since I'm doing 1.5 pints, and 2 pints makes a quart, I took the difference, which is a half hour, and divided it in half, which is 15 minutes, and added it to the 55 minutes, and that's how I got 70. I don't know if that makes sense to anybody, but that's what I did. But doing things in steps makes it so much easier. I got out of work early yesterday, so I was able to do a water bath for my tomatoes. I was able to do the beans and the beets, and I was done early with those. So early that I sat down while watching TV and I did my corn. So tonight I'm going to do my corn and get that processed. And if I feel like it and if I have time, I will get the peaches ready. I won't do them, but I'll blanch them tonight, get the skins off, and then cut them into slices and probably put them right back into that bowl and cover them with a piece of plastic and throw them in the refrigerator, and then tomorrow I will be able to get those canned. So everything in steps, and it makes life a lot easier. And every day I'm doing something. And every day that I do something, now tonight I will have 8.5 jars of corn done. 8.5 jars, that's 8 days that we have a vegetable for supper come winter. And I did 8 days worth of vegetables in one night. So I feel pretty good that I will have, by the time the growing season is over, enough vegetables canned, or enough fruits, or enough tomatoes that we should be okay come winter. So remember, just take everything in steps. Don't get too crazed. It's okay. And if you have nothing to do in the evening and you want to read something good, try reading the Ball Book, because you get a lot of information that will save you time in it. So, happy canning. Little steps are what makes everything great. You don't have to do everything in one night. So as always, have a good day.